working for you. This is the 23 News Update at 10.
A glimpse into the future of the state line. A Winnebago County special purpose agency shares how Northern Illinois could look over the next few decades.
23 News reporter Jake Pearson talks to members of the Region 1 Planning Council about how community feedback could help shape the state line for the next 30 years.
R1 Planning Council is hosting a series of events to talk with community members about long-term plans for the area. This includes stops in Rockford, Crystal Lake, and Belvedere.
20 to 25 years. Sometimes it seems like a really long time to be looking ahead, but that's sometimes how long transportation projects go through the cycle.
Taking steps now to prepare for the future, the Region 1 Planning Council explores long-term strategies not used before in Winnebago County.
The Climate Action Plan, focusing in on how our region can adapt and mitigate climate change.
The agency hosts an open house in downtown Rockford Thursday, asking the public for feedback on anything from transportation and road repairs to economic development and health equity.
The input and the feedback that the residents of the area can give to us and inform the planning process is the most valuable. What is the future of our transportation? What's the future of our workforce? How are we going to get there?
Region 1 Director of Planning and Programming Sydney Turner has the answer to one of those questions, something area counties haven't made a solid plan for yet: climate change.
Sea level rise, something that you don't think about in the Midwest, except where do those people move to and how is the population affected? An increase in migration from those areas.
Rockford City Council member Karen Hoffman says the open house is a good way to highlight the good in Rockford and what needs to change.
And as an alderman, there are things we're going to have to think about. You don't think in those terms necessarily until you see it on the big wheel. Where should we put our money? What should we be looking at going forward?
Region 1 will host its next 2 open houses next week, with McHenry County on October 10th and Boone County on October 12th. Both events begin at 4:30 and will end at 6:30.
Another big project from Region 1 is the Metropolitan Transportation Plan, which addresses the future of highways, bicycle travel, passenger rail, and more.